In this concept video, we're going to look at special right triangles, which you learned in geometry. So we have a 30, 60, 90, and a 45, 45, 90. So the sides for 30, 60, 90 is 1 across from the 30, square root of 3 across from the 60, and the hypotenuse is 2. And then 45, 45 is isosceles, so both the sides are 1, and then the hypotenuse is root 2. So up here we have all of the sine, cosine, tangents for each one, and we are going to look at number 1. In this case, my 30-degree angle here, this is where you are, and this is the hypotenuse because it's across from the 90. This side is opposite, so I have opposite and hypotenuse. I know that's the sine. So I have the sine of 30 degrees equals opposite, which is x, over hypotenuse, which is 74. And if I use the table at the top, the unit circle, whatever ratios, or if I use the hand trick from our unit circle, I know that the sine of 30 is really 1 over 2. And that would be x over 74. And then I crisscross, so 1 times 74, 2 times x, divide by 2. And x equals 37. Go ahead, pause, and try number 2. So again, we have our 30-degree angle here. The opposite is x, and the adjacent is 28. So I know that that's the tangent, so I have tangent of 30 equals opposite, which is x, over adjacent, which is 28. So what I can do, I can either look at the table, which you won't necessarily have on a quiz or the test, so you're going to have to figure out how to make the tangent. Well, tangent is sine over cosine. So really this is sine of 30 over cosine of 30. And then the sine of 30, whatever method you use to remember that, sine of 30 is 1 over 2 over cosine of 30, which is root 3 over 2. And then that equals x over 28. So now if I crisscross, 1/2 of 28 is 14. And then root 3 over 2 times x, and then multiply by 2 over root 3. Multiply the other side by 2 over root 3. And I get x equals, because the 2 cancels and the root 3 cancels, 2 times 14 is 28, and then that is over root 3. And then because I have root 3 in the bottom, I have to multiply by root 3 over root 3, and my x equals 28 root 3 over root 3 times root 3 is 3. So this is my x. Go ahead and do number 3 for homework. Let's go ahead and look at 45, 45, 90. So in the first we have our angle here, this is us, opposite, and then across from the 90 is the hypotenuse. So I know opposite over hypotenuse is sine of 45 equals opposite, which is x, over hypotenuse, which is 20. Sine of 45 is root 2 over 2. Oops, that's a root 2 over 2 equals x over 20. And then we can crisscross. So 2x equals 20 times root 2, and then divide by 2, and I get 10 root 2, because I divided by 2 here. So my x over here is 10 root 2. Go ahead, pause the video, and try number 5. So in 5, here is my angle, here's me. Across is the hypotenuse, and then across from me is the opposite. So again, I have sine of 45 equals opposite, which is 13, over hypotenuse of x. This time I have x in the denominator. So what I need to do, first of all, we'll just set up our proportions. So sine of 45 I know is root 2 over 2, and then I have 13 over x, and then I can just crisscross. So we have 2 times 13 is 26, and root 2 times x is root 2x, and then I divide by root 2, and x equals 26 over root 2, but I know I can't have a root 2 in the bottom, so I have x equals 26 root 2 over 2. And then 26 divided by 2 is 13, so x really is, whoops, 13 root 2. Go ahead and try number 6 for homework.